Hello, hi guys, and welcome to the cupboard. I've had this for a couple of days now, the Amazon Echo Show, and I'm going to give you my reasons why this is going to go back to Amazon, and I'm going to carry on using my Google Home. Out the box, you only get the Echo Show itself and the power lead that comes with it, as you would expect. You get a pretty big screen here with a speaker grill underneath. As you can see, they're very glossy. Obviously, I've got this in white. The only buttons that you've got are plus, minus, and mute along the top. Very grippy across the bottom. Along the back here, you can see it's a weird type of shape here, but you got the Amazon branding across the back. This isn't a micro USB power lead or anything like that. It's a proprietary connector, as you can see. So I'll just plug that back in. There we go. And just kind of very grippy across the back here, very rubbery, just to make sure that your device doesn't slip around when you put it down, which is cool. It stays exactly where you put it and it doesn't budge, which is exactly what you want. Now, the first thing that I want to show you while this thing boots up is the main reason that I bought this was so that I could have a look at my Nest cameras on this thing. As it's got a little screen there, I knew that this could connect to the Nest cameras with, it's just booting up, Nest cameras here pretty easily, not much effort at all. So as it boots up, it will connect. Whoops. Alexa, show me my camera.
Okay.
So it connects pretty easily to my camera. I'm just going to up the brightness on this thing so hopefully you can see it. Yep. So connecting up to the Wi-Fi and it'll connect into the camera, and there you go. Looks pretty cool. Very detailed indeed, and exactly what I wanted it to. A little device where I could put in the corner of the room, where I could just call it and show me the camera at the front or the back of the house, and it will show me whatever's going on at that point. Exactly what I wanted, and it keeps in sync with what's going on as well. Every now and again it will buffer in, just so that it's keeping in line in real time with what's going on. I did find that after around 30 minutes or so, it did time out, which is a little bit disappointing, but hey, at least I've got the option to have a look at the cameras, which is something that Google doesn't do on a small device like this. You can, however, stream your camera to, say, a Chromecast TV or anything like that by just issuing a command as you would with Google Home. So, hey Google, show me my camera.
Sure, streaming the backyard on living room TV.
Actually forgot that my Chromecast was connected to my TV, so running downstairs, here's my TV with my Nest camera connected to it. Absolutely awesome, but you don't always want to watch what's going on your camera on your great big TV, which is why I bought the Echo Show. A little screen maybe in the corner of the room somewhere where you could just leave it streaming if you wanted to while you carry on watching TV. So the Echo Show fulfills the requirement what I wanted it to do, just so that I could have a look at the cameras at any time during the day just by issuing a command by any family member. It does that absolutely perfectly. Compared to the Google Home, where it has to put it on a TV, Google Home hasn't got to a point yet where it can put it on a small device like this in the corner of the room. However, everything else with this thing is not quite up to par. So if we go down here and I hit home, absolutely have to use the navigation across here. You can just use voice command. So Alexa, go home. So it just goes to the home screen. One thing I haven't figured out yet is it gets these weird updates of news and whatnot on the display here, and there's no place that I can see where you can configure these. I don't know where it gets them from, if it's a UK or US based, or some of the news that pops up is not quite tailored to what I wanted to do. You can change the background, you can change it so that it's all your photographs display on here, like a slideshow, which is pretty cool. But I'd like to tailor the news to what I want it to do, like you do on your phone. So why can't I do it on this very expensive device here? That would be the first thing that I'd like to do. The second thing is I've got my Amazon Prime on here, so it plays the video from there. So if you go, Alexa, play the Grand Tour.
There are multiple videos that match your request. Here's what I found.
Alexa, play one. and here you see here it starts playing, and you can scrub through it and do what you want to do on a small screen, which is pretty cool. Obviously you may not want to watch something like this on a small screen, but at least this is called an Echo Show, so I'd expect it to show me media at some point. Whether or not it is intended for that is a different thing, but yeah. Alexa, go home. So anything other than Amazon Prime Video it can't do. So for example, Alexa, bring up Netflix.
I can't find that skill. To find skills, go to the skills section of the Alexa app.
And there is no skill for Netflix, which I've already looked. So that's one thing. It only connects to Amazon Prime Video. I'm a Prime member, so there's some stuff that you could watch on there, but not a great deal. And the main killer one for me is when you do, Alexa, show me SpaceX videos.
Here's what I found.
So notice it doesn't load up YouTube, because here in the UK, Amazon is still in a spat with Google, so YouTube is not available on Amazon devices at the moment. And you can see what's it done. It's done a Bing search, which is cool, but everyone knows Bing is a rubbish search engine. So it doesn't allow you to change the search engine to Google, which is an absolute pain. So if we go and do, say if we do Alexa, play one. Alexa, play one. So it starts playing the video, which again is pretty cool, but I'd like to choose what search engine they use. Come on, give me an option to at least have a couple of others, not even the main one. Everyone knows Google is the best search engine, and that's what I'd like to use, but there's no options on this thing, or even within the Alexa app, that you can change the search engine, which again is a bit of a frustration. Moving on, so if you go home again, Alexa, go home. I've got my Spotify account connected to this, and this is the other thing. So we go, Alexa, play Bruno Mars.
Your Spotify account doesn't support streaming on this device.
So there we go. My Spotify account is connected, but it doesn't support streaming, which means it's a free account. It's not a paid account by at Spotify. So if I was on a Google Home, I could say play music, and it would go off and play it, but not on Echo Show. And I'll just demo that. Okay, Google, play music from Bruno Mars.
Here's a Spotify station featuring Bruno Mars.
Hey Google, stop. See, I've got the same account set up with the Google Home. It's the same free account. I haven't paid for it, and Google Home plays it. Echo Show wants me to have a paid account with Spotify in order for it to play music, which is again a downer for me. If you've got a music from Amazon Prime here, it will play music, no problems with that. So I'll just show you. I'll switch over the account. Just set the default player on the Alexa app here to be Amazon Music. So we'll now give this another go. Alexa, play music from Bruno Mars.
Shuffling songs by Bruno Mars.
Alexa, stop. So it plays music from Amazon Prime Music absolutely fine. As I say, I'm a Prime member, so that's bundled in with my subscription. Any specific tracks are a part of, not a part of that subscription, then you have to be a Amazon Unlimited Music customer, which I'm not. But simple things like, why doesn't Spotify work? It's a free service, and music streaming, Spotify is #1 for, so you'd expect that particular provider to be on here and working a-okay, whether you have a paid account or a free account. But I suppose it boils down to what ecosystem you actually built into. So Alexa, go home. So some of the wording terminology I find with Alexa is not quite as good as what it is with Google Home. So if we go, Alexa, turn on my bedroom lights.
Sorry, I didn't find my bedroom lights.
Whereas if I go, hey Google, turn on my bedroom lights.
Sure, turning on Nanoleaf Aurora 52, 628.
And it's just turned on those lights there. So if we now go, hey Google, turn off my bedroom lights.
Alright, turning Nanoleaf Aurora 52, 628 off.
Alexa, turn on the lights.
Okay.
And there we go. It's brought up a different color scheme than what I've set, but nonetheless, it has actually turned on the lights. However, if I want to turn off the lights, Alexa, turn off the lights.
That command doesn't work on device Northern Lights.
So it's really weird. So Alexa, turn on the lights. I guess they're already on. Alexa, turn on the lights.
Okay.
So because they're already on, it just carries on. But you'd think, I'm just changing the word on to off, it'd still work, but it doesn't. You got to change the way you phrase it. So you go, Alexa, turn off the Nanoleaf lights.
Okay.
And there we go, they've just turned off. With Google Home, the context is pretty much the same. You just turn the word on to off and it does the thing absolutely fine. But with Echo Show, it seems to not like specific commands like that where you just change the word to on to off or vice versa, which is a little bit weird as well. There's a camera on the front for making calls, which is cool, but notice how the device is at an angle here. So this is pointing towards the ceiling. It would have been good if the camera could be movable, so you could change the tilt of the camera if the angle on the desk didn't suit you. Speaking of phrases, Alexa, what's the temperature?
In Stourbridge, it's 0 degrees with intermittent clouds. Tonight, you can look for clouds with a low of -4 degrees.
Yep, it's cold. So if we go, Alexa, what's the temperature inside?
Inside, it's 20.5.
In comparison to Google Home, hey Google, what's the temperature outside?
The current temperature in Stourbridge is -1 degrees Celsius.
Hey Google, what's the temperature inside?
Heating is set to 22 with a current temperature of 20.
I like the way it gives me more information from the Google Home. It tells me what it's set to and what the current temperature is. I like that feedback. This camera here is obviously a color camera. It works absolutely fine, but it doesn't work in the dark. Now there's a function on the app which is called a drop-in function. You can see there's a drop-in on Mr's Echo Show. What this essentially does, if I tap that, there's normally a little bit of a delay. There we go. It dials the Echo Show and you can have a phone call. And this works from anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection. It works absolutely awesomely. However, whoops, nearly lost my phone there. Nearly lost my phone. And once it comes through, I'm just going to turn that. I'm just going to mute that a second. There you go. Notice how this is blurred. The camera comes through as blurred for maybe 5 to 10 seconds or so, allowing the person on the end of the Echo Show to make themselves decent if they're not. So the picture is pretty clear on my handset, and this works from, as I say, anywhere in the world. So if I just end the call here, so you got a feel for how this works. However, if I wanted to drop in on this camera and this was sitting in my living room and I just
connected to Mr's Fire TV stick.
Okay. So if I just wanted to drop in on this device, if it was in my living room, just to see what my kids are doing, in the daytime, it's absolutely brilliant. No issues. You can connect in, see what they're doing. Your kids can see you, have a chit chat. Jobs are good. However, if it's in the dark, say you want to see what's going on at home, this camera doesn't have night vision. So you just see pure darkness. It would have been good if, for the price tag, this camera had night vision and you could see in the dark just to make sure everything is okay, just make you feel better. So yeah, for the price tag of this thing, that would have been good if it had night vision. When the kids are doing homework, this thing also, it doesn't provide enough context when you're asking a question to it in comparison to the Google Home. So for example, Alexa, what's the capital of Afghanistan and how many people live there?
Only countries or certain regions within countries, such as states, have capitals.
Okay. Hey Google, what's the capital of Afghanistan and how many people live there?
The population of Kabul, Afghanistan was 4,635,000 as of 2015.
There you go. Alexa didn't even bother to answer that question.
There's no incoming call.
Okay. Alexa, what's the population of France?
The population of France is about 66,600,000.
As you can see, it's pulled it from the internet, so that's going to be a Bing search. Hey Google, what's the population of France?
The population of France was 66.9 million in 2016.
See, it adds a little bit more context. It tells you the population and when it was, whereas Alexa displays what it's found on the net. Not quite the same. Alexa, what's trigonometry?
Trigonometry is usually defined as the mathematics of triangles and trigonometric functions.
I don't think it pronounces words very well either. So if you go, hey Google, what's trigonometry?
Trigonometry, the branch of mathematics dealing with the relations of the sides and angles of triangles and with the relevant functions of any angles.
Exactly. So I think it pronounces words better. Now, I haven't got a straightforward name, so I find Google Home does pronounce my name better. So, hey Google, what's my name?
Your name is Inham.
It does a pretty good job. I don't expect it to do an awesome job because it's not a normal name. So, Alexa, what's my name? And it couldn't even be bothered. Alexa, what's my name?
This is Inham's account.
I think it did that time round. It said my name absolutely perfectly. So I'll give it kudos. It can say my name, but I think in terms of searching facility and how it retrieves information, this thing is no way going to be as good as Google's product, just purely because Google Home leverages the search from Google, and everyone knows Google search is absolutely awesome. When kids are doing their homework and they've got questions to ask, they can ask Google Home, and you know it picks the best result and displays and gives that information. Not displays rather, but gives that information. Alexa, however, uses Bing in the background, which, as I say, you cannot change. There's a GitHub skill.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Yeah, so there's a GitHub skill that you can get for Alexa here, where you go, hey Alexa, ask Google something, and then it goes through Alexa's servers, goes through to Google, and Google answers it, then it goes back to Alexa, and then it gives you the answer. However, with that's not a proper skill. It's through GitHub, and it's not the best thing in the world because it's going through two servers. It takes a slightly longer amount to actually hear the answer back, which is not the best. I do believe later on in the year there is a Lenovo product that has Google Assistant integration with a screen and a speaker as well, so I may go for that, but this product is definitely not finished as yet. There we have it, guys. That's the reason why I'm getting rid of this Amazon Echo Show. Do let me know in the comment section down below if you've got one, what you use it for. If you've got an Amazon Alexa, what do you use it for? And the people I've talked to that have actually got an Alexa mainly use it for music streaming, which this is good for because it's got a big speaker, absolutely awesome. But £200 for a speaker just to play music doesn't cut it in this day and age. Every smart device these days, if you've got like a home assistant like this, should be able to control your heating, your lights on and off quite easily. And then if you're going to slam a screen on it like Amazon I have here, show good information, because the screen alone does not add any value. It's the content that gives you the good value, and frankly Bing is not good enough. You need to be able to switch it to Google, as well as other media things. Like if you're going to put a camera on here, then allow people to make hangout calls, Skype calls. That would be so good, and you wouldn't have to just go with Amazon's calling offering here. And make the camera night vision so you can be used in the dark. £200 for this device is a lot of money. So why couldn't you put a night vision camera in here? Is absolutely crazy to me. And it's only a matter of time before other companies like Google and their partners come out with devices with the screens on, and I'm sure they will think of every downside to this product and build it into a good plus point on their products. And I think in the long run, Amazon may be able to subsidize the cost of their Alexa products, but in the long run, producing products like this that are not really fit for purpose and what they intended to do is going to cost them money. But I'm rambling now, so I'll shut up. If you're new, hit subscribe and hit that little notification bell. Thanks for watching, have a wicked day, and I'll see you next time.